Hello, everyone, and welcome into Zelda Speedruns. We are here for the Zelda 2 randomizer Swiss Round 5 match between TAH and cstutor89. Here on commentary are Mirai and Animus United, and tracking is JLo7. I'm going to hand it over to our commentators and enjoy the race, everyone.
Yes, hello, everybody. We are here for the 2-2 match in round 5 of our standard tournament here. Very excited for this one. Alan Heffley and Tutor Animus. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. This is a very exciting matchup we got here. 2-2 versus 2-2. So the stakes are very high here on the Swiss round 5. So I expect a really good matchup between these two runners.
Yeah, I agree here. This is moving out of round 5 here. This is our last week of Swiss, and then we're going into brackets after this starting next week. And when it comes down to buys, there's going to be 7 buys that are going into brackets, and some of the 3 and 2s. I think there are 2 3 and 2s that get a buy. So we're hoping, one of these runners are going to walk away tonight with a 3 and 2. So it's possible that they're hoping to get that buy into week 2.
Yeah, definitely. Could be some very high stakes here. And of course, I believe if I'm not mistaken, 3 and 2, that's the cutoff for you to make the brackets, right?
Actually, Swiss is just for seeding, so everybody.
It's just for seeding.
Yeah, everyone makes the brackets regardless. So no fear of elimination tonight for either of our runners.
I'm getting my years mixed up here.
Yeah. This is the first year I think that I've been around as well. That there's no one getting kicked out of Swiss. Everyone's just going along to brackets, and from there, after week 1 of brackets, there is that spin-off tournament, the Nibiru Invitational, that happens every year. So yeah, I don't want to get too far in the brackets. We'll figure that out when we get there next week. But we've started here.
All right. Looks like we have this is a Dry Canyon West, it looks like.
Dry Canyon West, and it's a possibility we have a Dry Canyon East as well.
I would love to see the Dry Canyon West East, and then to shake it up, a required Islands DM.
Yeah, if we're gonna give them freebies on the East and the West, sure. Let's make something a little difficult to dig without the boots. Islands DMs without the boots there.
Yeah, the boots are in DM.
There you go. We got a cross and heart container cave here. Tutor took a death, unfortunately, sent him a little bit further back, but not a big deal. We're only a minute into the game here. This death early on is not going to determine who wins and who loses right now.
I think we gotta call it now.
Yeah, that's it. Alan's got this one. Death and heart container cave, automatic elimination. Sorry, Tutor.
So since we start off with the candle, and now that we have the cross, it's going to make our East, especially with those volcano encounters, a lot more favorable and not as scary. So that'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got Raft in the Maze, and we got Thunder for free here in Raru. A nice pickup. One of our 3 required spells. Well, I guess Fairy is not technically required until it is deemed that it's logic into palaces. So we'll see. One of our 2 required spells, I guess.
It's Fairy is one of those spells that just feels required, even though I guess it's technically not.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen plenty of gambles on Fairy, like if we get a magic key, or sometimes if people get a lot of keys in their race, they go into palaces and successfully dig everything without any actual logic,
Sometimes you just play what the seed gives you. If they're able to get, sometimes you just gotta play with what the seed deals with you sometimes.
That's true.
But having there is always that possibility that since we have 3 spell items, the child, the medicine, and the trophy, that all 3 of those spells could be behind that. So really getting one of those early on is just nice to not have that possibility either.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a 500-point P-bag in Magic Container Cave. Tutor with another death in this cave here. His setting 1 death in Heart Container Cave, 1 death in Magic Container Cave.
Yeah, that is the thing about if you're doing, especially low life levels, that even the enemies on the west are just going to hit you very bad.
Yeah, I don't mean anything against tutors. I'm just poking fun at the fact that he took a death in each cave, and we've already called the race. We've already given it to Alan here 3 minutes in. So,
well, that is what we like to do. We like to create some drama here.
Hey, there you go. Death Mountain holds the trophy. Although I don't really know what the and Rebanak rides with the heart. Okay, and I didn't catch what town what spell was in Rudo here.
Okay, well, that is a little bit of an, unfortunate hint, just because it is nice because that is one dungeon you don't have to clear, but it's P3, and that's one of the shorter dungeons as far as items go, so a little unfortunate in that respect.
Yeah, Tudor already found the east here, and so did Alan. Okay, there's a free reflect. All right, so never mind. That trophy in Death Mountain probably not going to be a big deal, unless, of course, it is fairy. Again, I missed the spell.
Yeah, so if we have Thunder and Reflect already, and if we're going by the insane seed that Fairy isn't already required, then we've got all our spells, right?
Yeah, and this looks like a Dry Canyon East, so... Or, yeah, it does. It looks pretty Dry Canyon-y.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
This is going to be a jet seed right here if the glove is free and easy to obtain.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone else saw if trophy was required out of the because if it is, then my scenario is still alive. But unfortunately, there's the raft is in Maze Island, and there's a raft tile in Maze Island along with the bridge tile.
Wow. Glove on the desert tile.
Oh
my God.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Jump into Runia there.
Yep, there's the River Devil doing nothing as usual.
Yeah, what do we still have? Saria free. I guess we got a bunch of free spells still. Then Saria, and then Naburu and Nukasudo. We did see a forest tile a moment ago, so that could be hiding a town, but I'm not really sure it's going to be required at this point.
Yeah, and because Jump is locked behind Child, I guess there's a possibility that both Fairy and Jump are locked behind a spell item, which could mean a later downstab / upstab if you're looking for that.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that if they could have gotten Fairy or Jump early on, that we wouldn't see them just go back to get downstab with this very easy to traverse dual biome east-west here.
No, yeah. I did see Child, Jump does need the Child today. But like I said before, was unsure of trophies needed or not.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of palace checks here, and I've been missing which palaces are which that they're seeing here. Obviously, GP on Maze Island, we can set that one in stone, but the other ones I've not caught exactly which ones are which. I've been looking at the opposite runner whenever the first one walks into a palace.
Yeah, because the continents are so similar with both the canyons, it's a lot hard. Like, I've seen 3 or 6, I've seen 1, but I really can't tell you which continent is on which.
Yeah, that's true. From our perspective, everything's going to blend together. The runners hopefully can keep it clear in their heads as well.
Yeah, it can be a little easier to, when you're just kind of focusing on one screen as a runner. It's not as overwhelming, I think, as sometimes this can seem to people. In some ways, it's a lot more constrained and easy to follow, especially with, even though it is a randomized overworld, all of your main sort of tiles are going to be out there in the open. So as long as you know what those are and what those look like, it's not as bad as it seems. And it really makes for a fun and exciting, a fresh way to play the game each time.
Yeah, that's a good point. From the runner perspective, it's not that bad, especially like you say when you know kind of what's where. You just got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Alan,
so it looks like
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say what you were saying, that Alan's upping and taking a look more at the west here.
That was a game over in Maze Island as he was looking for the items.
Oh, okay. See, I'm just missing everything over here.
No, it happens so fast sometimes, especially with the randomizer. The randomizer is a nice little setting that stops the epileptic flashing when you die. So it's like when someone dies, it's easy to kind of tunnel vision on the other runner and not even see that their screen's entirely red. But if we had the vanilla wild flashing, I'm sure we would see that very, very easily.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Oh, there's Aniki.
Wow, yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure. The only thing, like you were saying, because you did see the forest tile, I'm not sure if we've seen the other two palaces in the east besides the Valley of Death. So I guess Hammer or Fluke could be required. We did see Three-Eyed Rock, too.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure we saw that, but if they're all there, I mean, yeah, if Fairy isn't required, then yeah, this might be go. I guess the only potential problem could be we don't have Fairy or jump, since we know jump requires child. So down stab and up stab would be pretty hard to get if we see any of those rooms, and of course the Fairy rooms too. But it looks like fire is in Yukasudo, so maybe that's one of those spells.
Yeah, coming back to the east there, I think we did see a palace outside, but I don't think we saw two just yet. We still have a good bit of the east to uncover, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's boots. Well, that is probably not really that great to see, but there they are.
Yeah, the idea of an island's DM now dead.
Yeah, it's not looking too good. Shield, okay.
Looks like we have all the towns available. Saw Old Kasuto Reflect, Naburu Shield, New Kasuto Fire, and then Darunia Jump. So all of them not going to be hidden under either Forest Tile or Three-Eyed Rock. Still potentially a palace, though, out there that we need to find.
Okay. Looks like Spell and Mido.
Yeah, with 2 dry canyons, so many free items, you understand that it's like, we just gotta go, but at what point do you feel comfortable just going? You know, it's like you see Alan step into that 3/6 there on the west, and it's like, well, I'm only at attack 2 and life 3. It's like, at what point does he grind on the statues? I don't think either runner's checked that yet. Statues could be 150 or up to 200, which would be a nice little grind. But I mean, if they're 50 or 70, that's a waste of time. And I don't know, this is where this really pushes the runners to now, how fast can you get into go mode? And once you're in go mode, can you maintain that speed throughout? Or are you going to make like mistakes because you're moving a little too quickly?
Yeah, and at this point, I kind of am wondering. I guess we haven't seen Saria, have we?
No.
So yeah, so it's between those two towns as far as where Fairy is, because that is kind of the one thing I am curious about at this point, is whether we have sort of a jump source, if you will, jump or Fairy, to get down stab, because that might be one of the things that would be wanting to put our runners in the go mode here.
Yeah, so Alan hadn't seen Rudo. Again, I missed the spell, but the trophy being in DM, he went in for the hint. So whatever we're missing Fairy, and at this point, Fairy and Life, I think those are the 2 spells we're missing. So
yeah,
he could have gone in. He could have got in for the trophy and for either one of those, maybe.
Oh,
okay.
Life. So Fairy is in Saria then.
Yeah, everything's free today. So wow, this is it definitely is pedal to the metal. If you're ready to go, you are. If you can drive the car this fast, you're allowed to get into the driver's seat and go, because the engine is running and nothing's slowing us down right now until we hit a jump, or I guess we could hit a jump / fairy block in one of these palaces, or a down stab up stab room that one of our runners might not be familiar with getting through, or like you say in GP, the down stab up stab blocks.
Yeah. It looks like Tudor's found Fairy here, and sorry, it looks like it was on the eastern side of the Dry Canyon West here, so looks like he's going to be the first to get Fairy, and Fire wasn't Fairy already.
Yeah,
I didn't quite see if he checked that or not.
I don't think he can. We'll see the cost right here. It was in New Kasuto. 97. So yeah, no fire checks just yet.
Yeah, I don't believe Tutor's picked up any key yet either, so it'll be interesting to see if he tries to grind up for magic or looks around more of the west to try to find any key.
Yeah, and both of our runners running a tracker, so you know, calling back to what you said earlier when you were kind of talking about how this isn't too overwhelming from runner's side. When you know that you've got these item caves on these free and open biomes, Tutor's probably not going to just gamble on these caves. We're only 13 and a half minutes into this seed, and I doubt he's going to gamble on these caves. He knows he needs some resources, hearts, magic containers, and he'll probably just stumble upon that key regardless.
Oh yeah, and I didn't even look at that, and now that you mentioned that, I do see that Tutor has 2 palaces marked in the east, so I guess we are just completely in go mode now.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I see the 3, 6, and 5 marked in the east, so... Yeah, I know this is 1 on the west. You have 1 on the west for both of them right now. And it looks like the west too, so... Doesn't look like you even have like the VOD. Well, I mean they have Reflex, so never mind. So many items, so many spells, like there's nothing to gamble on here.
They're in go mode. They were in go mode when Alan found, well, essentially when Alan found the magic key back at like 11 or 12 minutes or something. That was essentially go mode at that point. Wow.
This is something, like, this is one of those seeds where I'm kind of curious, like, just speedrunning it, how quick he could do.
No kidding. Now, here's the thing. Tutor's talked about before. I've watched some of his practice seeds on his own stream, and he's talked about how, I think he talked about this in last week's race as well, where he likes a longer seed. He doesn't like the super speedrun seeds like this one is looking like it's going to be. So we'll see how well he fares. However, I would think that Alan probably prefers a little bit of a longer seed as well. I think both of these runners probably want a few more levels than some of like super experienced runners can go in at very low resources. I think both of these runners are going to want a few more resources. So we'll see how fast they really kind of get into gear.
Yeah, and even though we're talking about kind of how free the seed is, that is sort of a wild card here with these sort of lower levels and how the palace layouts could be. We certainly have 5, certainly GP could be into play, so it may not be all roses as it looks like right now, too, so that is a good point as well, something to keep in mind. It's just like, how nice are these palaces going to be?
Yeah, we obviously both runners opted for P1 in the beginning here. Tutor about to find his horse head soon. I don't think we found the item. I think Alan just placed the gem and left. He was in here very, very short period of time. He and Tutor did the same thing, finding the dead end, and then this way. I think this elevator right here is horse head. But, oh, I thought we had another boss here on Alan's side. Wow.
I'll tell you, I think P1, for whatever reason, it might just be a mind game, but P1 does not seem like short P1 anymore.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. There are some times where P1 has like several junctions to pick from. It feels very un-P1-like with so many elevator rooms to pick from.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Another dead end here for Alan, $200. Like, I don't know if he didn't recognize the dead end. I guess he didn't because he didn't really get a level off that P-bag. So only attack 2, 244 for Alan, and 323, but I think this is going to be 423 for Tutor at that 1090 level. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I could see, but of course they both have any keys, never mind. I was going to say I could see like them trying to go for a key or something at one of the dead ends, especially if you're low on keys, but again, never mind.
We're getting that a lot. The whole, oh wait, they have this. Oh wait, they have that. There's no more blocks. It's just simply, again, the only block that Alan could hit right now is a jump or fairy block, whereas Tutor can at least get by that in a regular palace here.
I mean, it's ridiculous, Mariah. I'm like 10 minutes in, and I'm just like, I mean, I know it's 17 minutes now, but we were like 10 minutes in, and I'm just like, wait, we got everything. What's going on?
This has sub-hour potential written all over it, but we'll see if these runners can deliver. We walk into the item room here, and I believe this is 4 based on these windows. Yeah, windows and pillars, because we already did 1, and so here's the hammer and 4. So okay. So never mind. Yep. Apparently, both the palaces are open and available in the east, so the hammer doesn't even matter anymore.
Nope, it does not. That would be good, but nope. Apparently, they're both open. I do believe 4 is on the west though, so 1 and 4 on the west, and I don't think we've seen the other palace. Oh, the other palace is 6 tutors in that right now.
Yeah.
So Valley of Death has RP too, it looks like.
Yeah, Tutor's already taken 2 deaths here. I think he's maybe 5, maybe 6 rooms into this palace. I think very early on he took a plop into the lava, then he took a death on a Doom Knocker there, if I'm not mistaken. He's down to his final life, so hopefully he finds this boss and doesn't find too much more obstructing his way to the boss. He's only life 3, right? Both of our runners, well, Alan's got life 4 now, but life 3 might be a little rough, just a little rough. I don't know.
Yeah, both of our runners don't have balance stab right now either, so it's a little hard to get used to. Usually you're just kind of down stabbing and dodging enemies, and without down stab you either have to do some pretty tight jumping, well, like Tutor just did there, or you're going to have to fight them one-on-one, so... Or just run into them, I guess, and yeah, but again, with the low life, that could be some pretty tough damage, but it looks like life 4 is a lot better than life 3 on Ellen's side, so...
Yeah, we're hoping Tutor can close the deal here on this. I've been using that phrase a lot. I need a new phrase. Hopefully Tutor can kill the boss here in P6 and not take a death, because that would be a game over.
You know, I think Z2R deal or no deal would be a decision. See who has the briefcase.
Oh man.
We'll just have all the bosses have briefcases now instead of items in their dungeons. It'll be an interesting reveal. Oh, the pea bag. Oh, the small pea. Oh, the glove.
All right, well, we're on Barba on Tutor's side. We found Karok on Alan's side here. We are these palaces. Well, I think we had some options in 6, so it's possible that Alan does not follow the same route that Tutor does. But if he does, this dragon does not look to be too deep into P6.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially if you're just watching this, Karok, probably the toughest boss in all of Zelda Rando, so just saying. So be careful with Karok.
Right.
Completely a joke, by the way, for those that do not know. The reflect spell, you just literally need this crouch in a corner, and the boss will kill itself.
Yeah, the only danger is if you're in final life with only a hit or 2 left, the boss might smack in the corner once or twice, or if you're in like a Max Rando type of seed with low hearts, that's the only real dangerous situation that Karok will put you in at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Some of the bosses that you think are pretty straightforward, especially like Helmet Head. Helmet Head to me is probably the toughest boss in a 1-heart container scenario, but you know, in a standard seed like this, like it's something you don't really think of, just because of the projectile heads, which don't really do much damage, but in a 1-heart container scenario, that's a lot different than any of the other bosses to me. So yeah. It is interesting that the dynamics of all these bosses and the various scenarios that you can play them. But like I said before, that's the fun thing about Z2 Randomizer. Just gives you a fresh playthrough, no matter what settings you play with.
Absolutely. And so Alan's into Saria here. He knew that it had to be fairy. He's seen everything else at this point. He's going to grab his fairy spell and do exactly what Tutor is doing, I would imagine, grabbing down stab out of Mito.
Yep.
Now, I was going to say, I'm glad that Tutor, he doesn't have that key yet, right? But I'm glad that the fairy spell hasn't been too restrictive getting through the doors in these palaces, and it hasn't set him back yet that he doesn't have that magic key.
Yeah, and he might not pick up that key at this point, considering where he's at, so that could come into play too. Something that we didn't really consider at first, just looking at the way our runners are running right now. So, like we were saying with the way how palaces are laid out, there is a certain key door in GP that requires a key with the way it's laid out, so that is always a possibility. if, you know, a key's not picked up before then, or Tutor doesn't get any key.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that, because I was just saying that I thought Tutor was going to clear the west out, but honestly, I mean, if you know, there's nothing that indicates to him that the magic key is in the west. If he had that hint, I would imagine he'd probably look it up, look for it. But without the idea that it's there, he might actually just try to cruise through these palaces and go. If he's afraid that he might lose this race to Alan in this what looks to be an incredibly free and open seed.
Yeah, I really can't blame anyone for skipping that in this situation, especially when you feel like you have everything. So, and like I said, I mean, any key could just, I mean, it could be in Death Mountain for all you know. And
yeah.
Who's gonna go there?
Oh, not making that jump there. Oh, he gets the jump that time though. Okay, you got to be kind of careful in this room that Tutor's in, because with the glove, you're just gonna cut right through the floor you're standing on.
As far as the drops go, I'm not really noticing any keys as far as drops or in these sort of dead ends, so I'm not really sure if we've really seen many, if any, small keys at this point, so that could be something to look at.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I have not seen anything other than a few pea bags here and there, maybe a jar, but I have not seen any keys. I'm not even sure we've seen 1-ups or anything either.
Yeah, I don't think we have, or I haven't seen many, if any, either. So Helmet has the medicine. Oh, there's a key. Speaking of a key,
it's a vanilla. This is a vanilla room in P2, and it has a key as well. So just happen to shuffle back to its vanilla item. Well, yeah, Tutor's got it. I was going to say, just hang out there. The guy's going to jump into the ceiling because that's what he does. Now, I don't remember. I think... I guess I don't know if Alan went this way in 4.
Yeah, I got lost in the palace navigation.
Tutor just noticed that that's a loop there. So going down, the previous junction he had going down and left and staying left, both kind of were in a little rectangular designed little rectangular pattern in terms of room. So he's got to go left here, it seems. He's on the right path, I think. And we'll see if Alan can find Barba as fast as Tutor did. Otherwise, he's going to be losing some time to Tutor.
I think this was the way to Barba, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Yeah, we're like 2 or 3 rooms into 6 at this point. There was a left at start and a right at start, and I know Tutor went right, but beyond that, I don't know.
I think it was right a little bit, and then up an elevator, correctly, and then one or 2 rooms to the right from that.
Oh, that is true. It is. Yeah, it is attached to an elevator. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be done with the west after this. So again, like correction from earlier. I'm not really sure Tutor's gonna finish this off. He's just gonna go east and do the east, and then do the maze, and that's where GP's at, and finish the game. I mean, that could just very well be it as he walks into Karak's room, but has to check for P back here. I think he was. Yep, he wants to push over to attack 6 coming up. I'm pretty sure the boss would have gotten him that level though.
I think he might need magic for reflect.
Ooh.
It looks like it's a full 80. He does have a key, I think. So this is his last life, but I think that key that he picked up will let him get through this.
Yeah. Oh, that was fast Karak as well. I was gonna say Alan was at magic 4 when he was in here, so I think reflect was like 44 to cast.
Yeah.
That was an impressively fast Karak. It's not Tutor didn't do it. The game just gives you this RNG pattern. He got really lucky with that really fast pattern.
Just what did I say? I mean, Karak's the most skillful boss in the game.
Taking a death on Barba there on Alan's side, down to his final life. If he game overs here, this is going to give Tutor back some time.
Yeah. That is the unfortunate thing about the fireballs of Karak there. If you get hit once by that, you're pretty much going to be floating into the lava depending on where you're standing, so gotta be very careful about that.
walking into 3 on Tutor's side. He's already off on the east here. Yeah, see, this is where now he's keeping magic low. He's getting one, I think it's only 1 cast of fairy he has per life, so he's kind of risking a little bit here with this lower magic and not be able to cast fairy twice. 3 is not going to be that big of a palace, though, so.
Yeah, that is the thing. There's pros and cons to the aggressive attack leveling to put all in onto attack, and one of the biggest con obviously is this, where you're just on such a low life and such a low magic that it can really catch up to you if you enter the wrong dungeon, or there's too many palace doors, or if there's a lot of really unfortunate enemies in your way. But the pros to it obviously is a lot of your boss fights are going to be quicker because you're calling like attack 5, attack 6 at a much quicker pace, but it really is a very delicate balance that you have to do, or you have to consider when leveling early on. So I'm not as huge personally on the go straight to attack, but yeah, I do it from time to time. It depends on the runner. I see a lot of runners succeed at this, and I see a lot of runners go for a more balanced style. So that is one of the cool and interesting things that you'll pick up when you watch all these runners, is that each runner sort of has their sort of own style of how they like to level, and they're able to incorporate that in a way. So that is probably one of the things I like to tell people when they're looking to get into Zelda 2 Rando is, that might be one of the last things you want to do, but it is one of the biggest things that you want to do in this game, is to figure out sort of your leveling style.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And to add to that, I would say, to become a better runner, you got to be versatile, right? You got to read what the seed is giving you. If you've got an expensive fairy, and then you've got maybe like a hint for a magic key buried in a dungeon somewhere off in Death Mountain that you can't get to, and it's like, well, I got to rely on this fairy, so now it's time to level magic. And like you say, when you level up attack a lot, you're reducing your magic and life levels. But if you're leveling up magic a lot, you've got to give, you can't be taking as many attack levels or life levels. So now you got to get good with lower resources in those areas as well. And so that's where the better runners have that experience just overall with the lower levels and the better strategies and reading the seed and just kind of it seems like something that you just take a level and go, or you just go for attack. But it really is more than that when you get to certain seeds and the way that they kind of make you play it.
Oh, I agree 100%. That's one of the toughest things to just dissect, especially when you're kind of having to make that level decision early on. It's just like, all right, is this a fairy seed? Oh, I don't even have fairy yet,
Right.
At least with life, I guess if you're talking a Max Rando situation, like you can at least see how many magic containers heart containers you have. So at least that's helpful. But yeah, the magic one, that's the toughest one for me to get. So again, I can see how people decide how they level, but it's always interesting to me, like it is for you too. I thought you put that very well.
I was just about to say, we're looking for Rebo here. We haven't found Rebo yet as we walk into Rebo's room. Now, I didn't see how many lives that Tutor has, though. He just took a death to be able to cast Fairy to get the heart out of the item room. I assume he's going to back out of here to take a death. Or you can just take a death and Rebo there. Okay, he's got 1 life left. I think Alan has joined us in P3 as well here. I think that was very close to the cave where we entered into the... Oh no, I guess it wasn't that close because we did just see Alan going for the hint for the child. I didn't see where that was. Zero saying vanilla-ish child, so... Maze?
Yeah, I guess so. I think we saw one of the items in Maze Island, which was probably the vanilla child location, so I guess the magic container location we didn't see.
We have raft. We had a hint for raft in the maze though, so if it's... And we don't have the raft yet. So I don't know. I missed the hint. I was just going off of what chat was saying there.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too.
Yes, Thunder. We just saw a Thundercast at Magic 4 from Alan. Looks like it takes almost 96 of his magic there. He had less than a bar left. So right now, from Tudor's perspective, he cannot cast Thunder. Which, to anyone who's not familiar, we do need to cast it at least one time on Thunderbird, which is a required boss in GP in this flag set.
And see that, and like we were talking about leveling before, that's another tough thing too, as far as like, you know, do you go for Magic 7, you know, do you go for, you know, even Magic 8 sometimes, you know, or do you just go for another Magic container? Because sometimes Thunder can be even terrible even at Magic 6, as we have found in some races. So that's always an interesting thing for me to do. And sometimes I do just love to go back and see, like, all right, whenever I see those high Thunder casts, like, would it have made a difference if you leveled up to 7 or 8? You know, it is interesting to me to see stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. I've seen 88 Thunder cost at Magic 7 before. So, but as we've been talking about in the Swiss rounds, that you are guaranteed at Magic 8 to be able to cast Thunder on 4 containers of Magic. So as long as someone wanted to level all the way up to Magic 8, they would definitely be able to cast that fairly. It's going to be 64 or less guaranteed. That is a randomizer guarantee there.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's like because of the balanced leveling, or as average, if you will.
Yeah, I think it just kind of comes down to just, I mean, Magic containers are always out there, right? Whereas we can restrict hard containers, but like that's up to the runner, right? The runner might not want to go find those, or, you know, there might be like a low resource. Well, see, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure why that was put in. I mean, I like it. It makes sense, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. It's nice to have something be guaranteed. Those guarantees are nice at some point, even in a randomizer.
No, I agree. And especially in the vanilla game, the magic cost from 7 to 8 just decreases so much for Thunder. So it makes sense overall too. I think there's a question in the chat about fire. I don't think we've seen what fire is today, unless I missed it.
Well, Tudor is the only one with it, as far as I know, out of cstutor, and he's still got only 80 magic at Magic 2, and we know it's 97 to cast. So we've got zero read on whatever fire is combined with right now. Okay.
And yeah, and that was something that was interesting to me too, because some of the spells you can see what fire is, but some of them you can't. That was always kind of a weird thing to me if you cast the inverse spell, if you will.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's like going to be looked at some point. It's obviously it seems to be some assembly thing, and obviously digging into the assembly of the game is it's harder than just fixing just adding options on the front end right now. But I'm sure there's a gigantic list of things that we have now that will eventually be looked at. This one, it's just good to know for some newer runners when they don't get fire tethered backwards in Thundercasts and Livecasts and things like that. Just know that you won't get the inverse of it. And I guess as long as people know, it's not that big of a deal right now.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. So, just to get sort of a status update here, it looks like we're both in P5, and it looks like we both have 4 dungeons complete right now. So, very tight still. This P5 doesn't look too bad.
Tudor has been in here for a little bit, not too long though. Alan did just recently jump in here, so he's a little behind here. We'll see if he finds Guma faster than Tudor did.
And we'll see, and this is something that we're talking about as far as the leveling strategy goes before. I mean, this is attack 7 versus attack 4 Guma 2, so that could make a difference. But Tudor's going to have to make sure, especially with this Life 3, I don't know what Guma's hitting, but got to make sure you don't get hit once here, I would say.
Yeah, that could have been a one-shot with Guma can take 4 bars off you at Life 3, depending on that effectiveness. That could have been a one-shot, but he handles it nicely.
Yes.
I think we have shield, though. I'm not sure what Tudor's colors are on his sprite.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think Tutor did pick up shield.
Yeah.
So.
I think there was a Nibiru.
Yep, that's right.
All right, Tutor's cruising here, man. 5 gems down, 38 minutes in. Currently slated at this point, if we just keep moving at this rate, to be the fastest seed. Even Alan is still possible to be in that realm here, to be part of the fastest seed of the Swiss rounds so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that both of these runners, like, finish with the quickest times, just both of them. Like, this is pretty quick so far. Like, we're 38 minutes in, going into the last dungeon. Wow.
All right, so we got Magic 7. How much is Thunder? We got to keep a lookout for that. That is going to be, where did that come from? Raru? It's at the top, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Fairy's probably dirt cheap right now as well, so he doesn't have to concern himself. He's probably getting at least 2 casts.
Yeah, Thunder was the first down, so yeah.
85. Wow.
Ooh.
Still can't cast it. We do know that I don't know where that 5th container came from on Tutor's side. He doesn't have the boots, and we saw a container on the water tile as well, so he can't get that. That's one that Alan has.
That is on the west. The boots are on the west.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But Alan, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think at this point, if you're in the situation Tutor's in, since you haven't cleared out the west of the west, I probably would consider that. Unless, do we know what the item in P2 is? I don't know. We do. That's the medicine, according to Alan. So. And I don't think Tutor got that hit, doesn't look like, so that could be something if he decides to dig this palace out, too.
Yeah, this is it, though. This is where that comfort, speed, all of the balance of the comfortable level, the comfort levels, and how fast you're moving. You're taking gambles, and he absolutely expected that thunder cost to be low enough, 80 or below. I mean, how many times do you pick up? I mean, you've run plenty of seeds. I've run plenty of seeds. How many times do you pick up thunder and it's already castable at Magic 1? You know what I mean? And so, why is it still 85 at Magic 7? Of course it is in this seed, right? Of course it is when we're speeding through here with only 5 containers.
The one thing I know about a high cast of thunder, it's always when I least expect it. So
yes.
I'm surprised.
All right, attack 4 Guma fight for Alan here. I don't know if he's got shield. I think that's his normal tunic color here, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be a 2-shot if he's not shielded. Or I guess it could be a 3-shot. He does not have shield. It could be a 3-shot if Life 5's doing good.
Yeah, he just has the basic Thunder, Fairy, and Reflect. Oh, so that was like 3 1/4 or something it looked like.
Yeah.
So it looks like a 2-hitter, if my math's correct.
This is Alan's style, though. He does the peekaboo strat, where we play peekaboo with Guma on the right-hand side of the screen. You pull him out just enough to where his hitbox is available to be hit, but the flail, the ball and chain, does not spawn. However, you are teetering on the edge of that ball and chain spawning, and if it spawns, you're going to be standing right there, and you're going to swallow that thing whole, and you're going to take the damage, and that's going to be a death for Alan with only 1 hit left.
Yeah, this strat actually scares me more than even being super aggressive, just because I'm just telling you, this ball just loves to spawn on top of me whenever I've tried this, so I commend anyone that can do this, because that's not something I can do.
Yeah, it's really the cheesiest strat, but it honestly is a tough strat. It's cheesy, but it's not as easy as a cheesy strat should be. It is somewhat nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's doing good though. I mean, this is his strat, so he practices it this way, and he's familiar with this.
Yeah, and attack 4 isn't as bad as I was expecting either, honestly.
Same, yeah.
Usually a lot of these seeds, you'll see attack 5 tends to be the magic number for attack to be good, generally speaking. So, but sometimes you can't see attack 4 being a magic number, but definitely more rare.
Gets it down with the peekaboo strat there. That's pretty good. That's what he needed. He needed to not take deaths and game overs to Guma here this late into the seed. That's going to be his 5th gem, and he's going to be headed into Death Valley as Tutor is completely done with P2 there. It was a 1 shot for Helmet Head, 1 or 2 hits there, and he was done.
Yeah, that was 2 hits, and yeah, that was it.
And I think if Alan just ends up going the same way, he'll see Helmet Head just as quickly. Now, Tutor, 7210, is this going to be Magic 8? Oh, he doesn't take Magic 8. Okay, he's got to go find a container then.
I don't know if he noticed. I don't know if he noticed the Thunder cost.
That would be bad.
I don't think he did. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter because P2 ended up being medicine, so it doesn't matter not to dig that out. But
I think he's headed back to the east here. The east cave is right down over here. All the other item caves, I think, are west of start for him.
Yeah, this could catch Alan up here because I'm not entirely sure he has noticed the Thunder cost at this point. Picking up.
Yeah, and shield for Alan here. Funny to get shield after the Guma fight there. Just a little bit of a flex, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's just a nice spell to have for GP purposes, I would say.
Absolutely.
I really don't hate getting a free shield, honestly. Unless you really feel like you really need to be aggressive, but most of the time I'd say it's worth it. Same with upstab. I feel like you're causing more trouble than it's worth. You'll make the enemies a lot easier, and you don't run the risk of getting hard upstab blocked. So.
Alright, well, we're going to say that Tutor did notice now that he cannot cast Thunder, and he's going to be getting his magic key out of Medicine Cave here. Unfortunately, not a magic container for him.
Okay, well, that is good. Better to notice now than deep into GP.
Alan is still looking around for resources at this point. Only 1 palace left to do. Felt that he was probably ready to go, but apparently he himself feels he is not ready to go. Extra heart could help though. That's going to be +2 on Tutor. He's +2 on. Well, he'll only be +1 magic container on Tutor because Tutor will probably just go once he gets that 6th one. He'll be able to cast Thunder at that point.
Yeah, I think probably what Alan's probably thinking here too is just like, I mean, I'm only on attack 4 right now, so that's something that's probably a little concerning at this point.
Not sure what fire is there. There's our check on fire, and he had full life. We're getting some reverse checks. He's gonna hit. He's casting Reflect. I think he's gonna cast Thunder, but we know that doesn't work in reverse. So yeah, not shield, jump, fairy, or again, we don't know if it's life because he was at full life.
That would be interesting if fire was Thunder.
It would, especially for GP, just be able to blow a lot of things up.
Well, especially for Tutor right now, I mean...
That's true.
Worry about the magic container here.
Yeah, he never checked it again. He got magic 7 and then never looked at fire again, but he's good now.
Oh, there is a magic container, so... There was one on the west, apparently, or another one on the west.
Alan going to be headed into Death Valley in just a moment here. Did not get another check of fire there. Maybe we'll get one in these lava encounters.
Yeah, that is the other thing about this Dry Canyon's west and east. Even in a sort of a worst case scenario here, needing a 6 magic containers, all of these items are so close together. The odds were really, really good that we'd find another magic container.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Well, 47 minutes and 14 seconds on Tutor's own timer. I think we're about 3 seconds behind him there. I think it was 47:17 on the ZSR timer. He's into GP.
Yep, got everything, including any key, looking for that magic container. So, you know, that really could actually be a good thing, especially if we come across that key room in GP, so got up step went and got up stab 2. So really nothing can stop us now at this point in GP. It just depends on how long we have here.
I'm checking the results at this point to see what the fastest time so far in Swiss has been. Looks like Chroma in week 2 had a 59, and then I had a 55 in week 3.
Okay, so you have a kind of a 4-way there. There was up and left, left, and then right here, so Tutor's gonna go right.
That was a bit of a toe grab on that jump there, maybe a little nervous.
Yeah, this room can be kind of scary with the flying enemies.
Oh, he lets the bird out. I think he wanted to get to its shins, but now we're going to play up stab. Well, attack 7's fine. I mean, I always look at these palaces like you got to just go, right? And people, like some people come in here with high attack levels, like Tutor's got attack 7, and so not that big of a deal. Like, we just saw, what was it, 3, maybe 4 hits to kill the red bird? That's not a big deal at that point.
Yeah. Once you get to really these higher attack levels, it's really not as bad. The blue ones can still cause you a little bit of pain, and the worst part about the blue ones is they actually don't give you as much experience as you think they would. So you do all that work for something that's less than the red stuff.
I think Alan's on the path to Helmet Head here. These rooms look familiar. This might have just been linear from start, though, for all I know, on Tutor's side.
I do remember there being a decision in P2, but I couldn't tell you where.
Oh, has he looped back here?
Same? Yeah, is this the same? It is the same, yeah, that's the same. So that's the same up and left here, so yeah, up and left is where you have to go.
Yeah, so not too many rooms there. We saw, I don't know, like maybe less than 10? Maybe this is the 10th room so far. So GP can roll as small as 24. It might be 28 rooms, but they can roll up to 48. So we have not necessarily seen the most of GP yet. Although these boring elevator shafts also count as rooms, unfortunately. So they do just eat up. They just eat up the room count.
Yeah, that is the thing I like to tell, especially a lot of new runners that kind of laugh or get annoyed with the long, endless elevators. Is you'll probably be happy about that later when you realize that eats up your room possibilities. Those like 5 or 6 elevator rooms that can happen.
Yeah, see, I'm upset because I know that it's eating through the actual room count. It's probably making my GP too easy.
Not as recently, but we've definitely seen the absolutely linear fun GPs, even in the shorter GPs.
Yeah, we got that I junction there. He's got 2 lefts behind him, and there's an elevator in this room. This could be Thunderbird.
Which ironically, short GP is probably going to be your longest palace anyway. So even though we say it's short, it's not like a P1 or anything like that.
Yeah. Duplicate rooms here. Okay, 2 of the same room. Who knows what's to the left, though? He's just routing right as hard and as fast as he can here. Oh, we've looped. I think. Yep. I mean, unless it's another duplicate room.
Yeah, and this could get a little confusing here because we do know there is another left if you go right here. So there's still one direction outstanding here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Alan, if he feels behind at all, if he wants to gamble on left. He's done with 2 now. Could be faster. It's going to be faster, I think, to just up an A out of this palace once he's got this level, and then head back like Tutor did and just go north. That's where the bridge is on the top side of the east, and then GP's on the maze.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, and I guess the thing would be too, since there's 2 lefts and 1 right there, that first junction, which one to go? Oh, here's T-Bird for Tutor.
All right. We've seen probably half of GP at this point, if not a little bit more. Again, there's no indication to know whether it rolled its max on the shortened flag or not. I always hope it does, so our runners get to experience a little bit more fun in GP.
We do have one direction outstanding too, so we don't exactly know how many rooms that entails too.
So about 6 minutes and some change, I think is what that was. I think 47:17 is when Tudor walked in. 53, 22, 26 or something is when Alan walked in there. So about 6 minutes, and just over 6 minutes, and Alan's in here. Although, unless he gambles, he's going to be a good bit behind. We know those rights don't lead anywhere, at least initially.
Yeah, it was 2 lefts, so...
Double bridge room after this. Very difficult. Oh, okay. We might... all right. I don't think there's going to be a trolley room. Usually it's trolley with... oh, okay. Usually it's trolley with generators in here.
Yeah, the bubbles are a little more manageable for sure.
I got $10 that says this junction is Darklink.
More elevators like we were speaking of.
Oh! Yeah, Alan saw the 4-way, saw the up and left, but decided to go right, and so he is going to find himself in that loop, and he'll come back. He'll make his way around and then go up and left again. Here we go. Yeah. I like this room with these Bagos.
Oh, we have decision time, it looks like.
I love it. This is where sorry, I was going to say, this is where the jump spell is. We saw Tudor cut through here in attack 7, but Alan doesn't have attack 7. He's got attack 4. These birds are going to take a little bit more damage. Nobody's got the jump spell, though, but these are the rooms where that jump spell would absolutely help our runners.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to look at, and Tudor answered my question. He is on his last life, so...
This could be Darklink, though. It's an elevator down over here, but he's getting beat up a little bit.
Yeah, better cast that shield. Yeah, it is.
All right, easy game. Oh, was that fire? Was that a fire life for 1 bar?
I think it was. I can't tell.
Yep. Incredible.
Life as good as ever, right?
Two more hits for Darklink on Tudor's side here. And that's going to be it. A GG for Tudor, finishing first in tonight's race.
It looks like we got an official race time score of 56 minutes and 13 seconds. So GG to cstutor89 for winning the match and getting on up to 3-2 in our Swiss round 5 here.
Yeah, I feel like this one could have actually probably been slated for a sub 50 if all things were routed very nicely and he didn't have to go hunting for that magic container at the end of it all, right? Or if Thunder was just castable at Magic 7 at that point, I think this would have been potential for sub 50, and especially if GP wasn't as long as it was, because we've seen some pretty short GPs lately.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we needed at least one semi-difficult thing in the seed, though, right?
Semi-difficult thing. 11-minute go mode on Alan's side. This is ridiculous.
I really Really was an interesting seed. I think I remember it was it last year? I think you and Big Pick and Patrick had a similar seed to this, where it was just like a super quick standard seed, Dry Canyon West and East, and go mode within like 10-15 minutes too.
Yeah, I think so.
So we've definitely seen these before.
That's always the fear, though. It really is. It puts, again, a lot of people who are learning, who are less experienced, or just don't like the speed, the high octane feel of it all. They do prefer the longer seeds because you find more stuff. You end up in GP with more comfortable levels and more comfortable resources. And today was the opposite of that. Today was the complete opposite of that. And it really comes down to, if you were up against a different opponent, would he have been able to, take first like he did tonight? And that's a tough one. Some people are really good at low resource digs through palaces, GP or otherwise. And, these are things that can make you nervous if you're not really strong in the high octane race, so to speak, where you prefer the longer game and you don't get it. And then there's additional nerves there and you're like, oh man, I gotta go, but I'm kind of out of my comfort zone. And so, GG to Tutor tonight. He did a totally fine job.
I actually love what Alan just did right there. Like, found a red jar and just spammed the fire life like 9 times there.
Yeah.
Red jar. Perfect.
Yeah, and just for anyone who's waiting for the interview here, Tutor said he'd be in a minute or two. He's probably doing a quick streak outside, victory lap. That's what we do in Z2R.
Look, we have had those moments where we have gotten excited over wins in Z2. I think
absolutely.
I think we both have. So it's a very exciting game. So
it is, though. It is. It has got something about it. The combat element to it. It's fast paced. It's fast paced, and the combat that a lot of games just don't necessarily have. You've got a lot of randomizers that are very popular, and some of them are turn based. Others are a bit more timid, like in terms of more of a collection and problem solving puzzle that they have. This one has a little bit of that problem solving, but it's also got a lot of combat in it. And so there's always this action, so to speak, that's like right in your face constantly. And when you finish certain seeds, they feel real good.
No, I agree 100%, and that's why I always try to tell people, especially for someone in the last 2 years that didn't grow up with this game. Like, I think a lot of people that didn't grow up with this game or have some sort of mixed opinions about the vanilla game should always give the randomizer a chance, because it's a little bit different than what you're expecting, and I think it could exceed your expectations. And to me, especially if you're just starting out, I think it does a better job of balancing the game if you play with the right settings early on, as opposed to some of the skills that the vanilla game wanted you to have early on. Now, obviously, if you play randomizer enough, the vanilla game probably doesn't feel as bad to you as it originally did. But I just say that to say, to me, it feels like an adventure, like you were saying, an adventure every time, sort of a new face every time. And to me, I think that should really get runners, whether they're experienced or new, just some fresh life every time they pick this up.
Yeah, I agree. To tack on to the end of that, I'd say, when you're talking about the fresh feel, it's the biomes, right? It's the randomized overworlds that really, every time you step out of North Palace, it's like, where am I? Where's my stuff? And we're going to discover this continent, and we're going to see what the layout is. We're going to see the connections and everything, and we're going to piece this puzzle together. That's part of the overall puzzle, and it's nice that you don't walk out of North Palace every time and it's the same layout. It's completely different every single time. Every river canyon you play is a little different. Every mountainous biome you play is a little different, and that's one of those things that does keep this feeling fresh every time you fire it up.
No, I agree. And I'm not a vanilla map hater. I actually do like the vanilla map or the vanilla shuffle that this randomizer has too. I think that's pretty cool too. But I also understand, that can be jarring for a lot of people. So I am totally okay with being in the minority and liking the vanilla maps for random.
No, I'm with you. There's the vanilla map is fine, but when we start shuffling it, it gets like you turn it up to 11. I love a vanilla shuffled map. They're so interesting to play, and it's totally different. Like again, you can get really well versed with canyons and islands and mountainous and all that stuff. That's fine, but until you've played a vanilla shuffled, oh boy, that's a whole different beast. And it's great that it's just another map, but it's really kind of like an entirely different. It's so different that it's almost a different experience, and it's a much more complicated puzzle at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're joined by Tutor. GG Tutor.
Hi. Is my thing on?
It is.
Okay. Let me turn down my other. Thanks. So, okay.
Yeah, so we were discussing that, we felt like that it was a pretty quick sort of Jetsy there. What were sort of your overall thoughts of the seed?
Dying? is that like I think I hit the glove at like 7 minutes. Something around there. It's another one of those. So kind of just felt like just go straight to done, just go finish off everything really quick. It was another one of those kind of seeds, I felt like. So
yeah. Yeah, we did notice sort of the one trolling thing for you was the fact that at Magic 7, Magic or Thunder was still 88. We were a bit worried for a little bit if you had noticed or not, since you were heading towards the east, but we did see after you picked up Upstead that you went back to sort of look for that magic container and ended up getting that magic key out of the west, so... I guess the room didn't show up in GP, but to us, that felt like that was more of a good safety as well.
Yeah. When I got to Darunia, I looked at the numbers sometime, and I realized that it was 85 at level 7. I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to go find an MC at this point. So... once I got the upstab, I just went back to the west side because I had 3 other caves still to go look for on that side. So, and since those are really quick, I just wanted to see if I can just go get that and see if it's just there.
Yeah, the booth ended up having another magic container too. That was the nice thing about that Dry Canyons biome for you is, like we were talking about, there's just so many quick items that you can get right there that really wasn't going to hamper as much.
Yeah.
Also joined by Alan Heffley, GG.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay. Thanks, GG Tutor.
Oh, thanks, GG. The seed.
So, do you have any overall thoughts about the seed, Alan?
Just life was trash and tech was decent, but it felt pretty jetty, and I think he got more jetty than I did. So,
Alan, you were in go mode at 11 minutes into this seed. You didn't have Fairy, but you're the first one to find the magic key, and that's what put Palaces in logic. Because you both went east first, you both got the free glove, you had Thunder out of Raru for free, you saw Reflect for free out of Old Kasuto, and then Fairy obviously is not necessarily required unless, and Animus and I were talking about this in comms, it's not necessarily required unless it is the pathway into Palaces. Today, it was free as well, but the magic key was also freely available, and you found it first in Magic and Medicine Cave. And so at that point, you were ready to go into Palaces, whereas Tutor, you eventually came back to the west to grab it out of Saria first. And but it was obviously extremely, extremely fast seed. 2 Dry Canyons, no reason for DM, and the maze only had a raft and something else on it. I'm not sure. We knew the other thing.
Kid.
Oh, it had the child and the raft. Okay.
Oh my god.
Didn't bother looking for the kid. Don't really care. It was just jump, I think.
Yes, always ditch the child. Good job, good job.
Thank you. I thought you.
You're both winners in my book for that. Good job.
Yay.
Was
Child abandoned there.
was P5 worse than what I thought it was?
It was windy, but I don't think it was that bad, really. I don't know. On my end, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's P5. P5 is going to do P5 things.
Yeah. So I was wondering if I was just whining for a long period of time, and I'm like, I wasn't getting stuck anywhere in that dungeon. But I wasn't sure if there was a faster way to get to Guma than what I did.
I mean, you just, of course, had to take some lefts. I mean, that's really about it. But, I mean, that's kind of the norm, really. But I've seen worse.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, there's really, I mean, from our perspective, you guys were just ready to go, very, very early on in the game. Alan, you were first to dig into, I think, Alan, you were first to dig into 1, and then you did 4, and Tudor did 1, and then 6, and then you just finished the West. And Alan, you did a little bit more clearing on the West as well, so you had overall the boots, which did lead to water tile magic container. You had an extra magic container out of the West, the magic key. You had 7 magic containers total at the end of it all. I think you burned a little bit of extra time there when you were done with 5. Okay, yeah, you were done with 5. You did the peekaboo strats on the side of the screen with Guma, and then you went to go get shield. You're like, yeah, now I need shield. And it's like, I called it a flex that you fought Guma without shield, and then you go get shield.
Like, I knew I was going to need shield. I knew that because life effect was terrible. Even I had life 6. It was still horrible. So like, I'll just safety kill Guma and go find New Kazuto, or actually it wasn't New Kazuto, it was New Booru, but yeah. Of course, life spell was 1 bar with fire, so that just kind of was the cherry on the crap sundae there.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering, especially with that fire, when Tudor was looking for that 6 magic container, since Magic 7 had that 88 magic cost, if fire was going to end up being thunder, but no, it was the 1 bar of life.
Yeah, I didn't check the fire spell until like in GB. So I didn't know that it was life until basically when the sea was over. So like I got it so fast, and yet I never tried it. I mean,
I was kind of hoping it was life, but I just of course it had to be 1 bar, so you can skip it for a while. If you get a red jar drop, which I did, which I thought was really kind of cool, I just spammed it.
Well, Mirai is probably happy that you both at least tried to skip life, even though fire just ended up being life, so...
Yeah, I was not going to look for that trophy. There's no way. I'm not going to Death Mountain.
Wait, was it at Death Mountain?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's trophy. I'm not sure what else was in Death Mountain. I don't think I got another hint for that. No medicine was in 2, but...
Yeah, other than the ultra jettiness of it all, GP actually put up a little bit of a fight, I would say. Alan, you saw that 4-way elevator, that first 4-way elevator that you ran into. It was up and left at that point. You did the same thing Tudor ended up doing, going right, looping around, and then having to go up and left. And it was essentially up and left at the 4-way. Next junction was a down and a left, and then that would have taken you to Thunderbird. And we thought that you would probably have to really first of all, Tutor would probably have to game over to give the lead back to you, and then you'd have to be god routing that GP at that point. There was a little over 6 minutes of separation between you two walking in the GP there.
Yeah, that GP was not great with the life. I'm just taking too many pops, and then Thunderbird on my last life, I was like, yeah, great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't cast Shield and Thunder together, actually. I think it was 97 total with the two.
Ooh, yeah, well, okay. I found extra magic containers. That's probably what helped there, because I got to do Shield and Thunder, so.
I think T-Bird was doing like 5 damage or something. It was pretty high for myself.
Ew. It's gross. That is T-Bird.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, from our perspective, super fast. Pallisers in the open, no need for the hammer, even though you both got it as the pass through room in 4, I believe was. No reason for any 3-eyed rock checks. I mean, there was nothing that would have been hidden under there. We saw Risen, we saw Sunken, we saw all the towns, all the palaces. So nothing of interest, and both desert and water. So nothing of interest under either of those spots. And I guess any things that stick out to either one of you. Tudor, I think you kind of gave your thoughts again, if you have anything else to add. Well, here's what I will say for you, Tudor. Here's what I'll say. You last week were talking about, you had a really fast Jetty seed last week as well. Yeah. And you were talking about, we addressed this in the comms, that you prefer the longer seeds that are drawn out a little bit more. And so this sort of drag race, how did you feel throughout this with the go, go, go? Did you feel a little uncomfortable with pushing it that hard or what?
Same old thing. Like same thing like last week. Pretty much every single seed I've done this tourney has been that way, where it's just like 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes you get go mode, you just have to be done for like 60 or 70 minutes. It's like, ugh. And this one was like even faster than any of the other ones. So it didn't feel that great. Like, I was stressed out. After I found Glove, I was stressed out because I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to hurry up and get through everything really quick and don't waste any time if possible. Because pretty much I have to be done by 60. If I'm not done by 60, that's not good enough. Like, so.
Yeah, it's that max rando mentality, pretty much, just what it is. Whenever you get the seeds, it's just like, and then you get the max rando seeds that where you get like everything from the start, and you just gotta just go, or zero gem, or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's that's pretty much it for me. I think there was nothing trolly in Palaces. There was nothing really at all to really dwell on here, other than it's just a very quick seed, and both of you handled it well. Just Tudor did it a little bit faster, almost caught him off guard there with the 85 cast cost of Thunder, only having 5 containers at the time, but finding the 6th one and then being off into GP and again, walking in there about 47-17, a very fast GP entry time. And Alan, you're walking in there like 53 something. And so yeah, both of you sub-hour entries. Played well between both of you. Alan's low attack Guma was great. I liked that. That's something that stood out to me. I'm glad that was you were able to solidify that kill on Guma there without any deaths or game overs. Tudor, you were cruising with the high attack levels the whole time. Nothing really slowed you down. Nothing that was too much other than maybe some small speed bumps here and there. I think there was a death on Barba, or no, there wasn't. You were on your last life on Barba. Alan, you took the death on Barba, but then you, again, were able to take the dragon out after that. So no game overs, right? No game overs on bosses that really screwed anything up, and you both cruised.
Yeah. I think Fairy might have been made things a little bit slower because I had to die. Because I only had 64 for a while, and Fairy took up pretty much everything. So yeah, I guess that would be the thing that slowed me down a bit on this seed, because we have to keep dying, and to use fairy to get through a door, it's kind of like, not that great.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it from me. Animus, anything else that we missed? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think we covered it all. GG to both of our runners once again. Thanks again for putting on a great show for us, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, looking forward to brackets. Definitely.
Yes. Good luck on the brackets.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thanks also for the restream. Thanks Animus and Mirai for calming this race, and the trackers.
Absolutely. All right. I think Golden Devil can take us out.
Yeah, thank you again to our runners. GG's to both of you, and there'll be some more Z2R races on the schedule for tomorrow. So stay tuned. Thanks again to JLo for tracking, and Mirai and Animus for commentary. We're going to go right over to main ZSR where they have a Majora's Mask race. But thank you everyone for watching, and have a good night.